Hello, my name is Jordan Regney, and I'm going to talk to you guys about Sikhism. I'm going to start by talking about the founder. The founder of Sikhism is named Guru Nanak. The idea of the gurus is that there were 10 gurus that passed down a single spirit. It started with Guru Nanak, and it led all the way into the death of Gobind Singh. And once he died, it entered their sacred scriptures, and that is where it lives today. Now, when was this religion found? It was founded in 1469. However, the beliefs were not shaped until the 16th and the 17th century. And it did not come over to the United States until the very late of the 19th century. Now, where did it come from? It came from Punjab, and this is located in India. And as you can see on my map, it is in the upper left side. It's white, and it is kind of in a circle, and that is where it is located in India. Guru Nanak was interested in religion young. He was raised a Hindu, and when he was 28 years old, he went to bathe. And when he went to bathe, he actually stayed away for 3 days and meditated. While he was meditating, he was filled with the Spirit of God. And he realized that the God was telling him there's no such thing as Hindu and no such thing as Muslim, but it was a different God than those gods. And during this time, there's also a divide between the Muslims and the Hindus. And the Muslims are trying to convert the Hindus to Islam, and they're using this by enslaving the women and children. So he thought this was a whole new religion than what these other two people were doing. Guru Nanak was interested in Now, who was the supreme being that he thought he had found? According to the Columbia University Sikh Student Association, they call him the Vaheguru. And this God is not multiple. It is one. So it is a monotheistic religion. And when they discuss this God, the people who believe in the Sikhism, they see him without gender, without form, and everyone is equal before God. And they find ways to find God through creation. They see that he has made something, and that because he has made something, it was his will. And because it was his will, we can find it through the nature. They also believe that the messages that were shown to the gurus were from their God. And so since that spirit went into the scriptures are from the God as well. Now, this religion does have a sacred book, and the sacred book goes by multiple names. Some of the names are Ali Grumphin. It is also just called Grumphin, or Guru Granth Sahib. Inside of this holy book, there are sacred scriptures, and there's also 6,000 hymns or songs. Something I found interesting is their ritual is they open in the morning, and then before they go to sleep in the evening, they wrap it up and they put it away. Special occasions, they do have a continuous reading from 2 to 14 days without stopping. So how do people think they reach the paradise or heaven in this type of religion? I found this very interesting that they actually do not believe in heaven or hell. They believe that people merge back into the universe, into the nature. and that no one's an individual. So everyone comes together. They believe that when you're alive on earth, that's when you're tuned into God. And that there is hell on earth. And the hell on earth is your own ego. And so it's the pain and the suffering. So hell is not a different place. It's just a feeling that you feel while you're on earth. So in this religion, they do have some basic beliefs and laws. Some of the beliefs that they have is that God is inside everyone. So everyone is capable of change because God is inside of them. And so no matter how bad they are, they can still change and become a good person. Since God's inside of them, they focus less on the religion and they focus more on other people. And they do this by caring for the sick and caring for the poor. And they also do this by getting rid of their own ego and their own pride and just really helping out people. They do chores in what they call the Gurdwara. So it means for the community. So they work in the kitchen. They do things like cleaning the floor. They also do things to see God. They look at their own heart. So because they feel that pride is so negative, they believe that sometimes you can't see God because you are just so prideful. So, continuing on with the basic laws and beliefs that Sikhism people believe, they also have these duties. And one of the duties is called Nam Japan, and that means prayer. So they believe that they're in communication with God, that God's in your mind all times. And as I said before, they believe that God lives inside of you, so that you can talk to him. They also believe in Kirk Karmana, which means work. And they believe that you have humble work, so you have an honest living. The last of the 3 duties is called Van Kakarnina, and this means to give. So you give and you care for people. They also have vices, which are things that they believe that you should not do. And these are lust, covet other people, you greed other people, you have attachment towards things, you have anger, and most importantly, like I've talked before, you have pride. So in this religion, there is a lot of important terms, words, and ideas, but these are just a few that I thought were really interesting. The first is the caste, and this is a class system. So this is like the higher classes are different than the middle, and then there's the bottom. Diwali, and this is like a festival that marks the day the princes were released from prison, and also very important when it comes to the 6th guru. And then there's a Granthi, which is when they read the Guru Granth at the festivals. And I thought this is really interesting because women and men get to read it, so it's just not men, but it's also women as well. Kalasya is a community that's fully in all Sikhs. There's no one else. Everyone believes in that religion. And then I thought Lavin was pretty cool because that's the wedding hymn. And there's hymns in our culture too that we use at weddings. Some more important words, terms, or ideas comes from the idea of the 5 Ks. And this is very important to Sikhism individuals. These are things that they feel like they should wear or that they should do. The first one is the kiss. And this is when they do not cut their hair. So they want to keep it long. Their beards too. The second is the kanga. And this is a small comb that they carry around. The next is the kacha kara. And this is the underwear that they wear. The next is the kara, and this is a steel band worn on the right wrist. The next is the kirpan, is a small symbolic sword, and they feel that this is very important to do for your religion. And for men, they also have a juraba, and this is a top knot that they wear and a turban. the number of followers was actually shocking to me. I did not know that this was the 5th largest religion in the world. They have over 25 million followers around the world, and 250,000 to 500,000 live in the United States. And I had no idea. I did not know much about this religion. So there are psychological implications that go along with this religion. There was a research that was done where they took 5 people that were immigrants from India from 5 to 20 years ago is when they immigrated, and they talked to them about discrimination. And they were people of the Sikh faith, and they tried to get even more than 5, but it was really hard because they didn't want to talk about this discrimination. They had to deal with things, and they dealt with things by coping. Men were actively coping, so they had more of a problem-focused style, and they used their faith, and they used their family, and they tried to stay visible because they wanted people to know who they were. And the discrimination that they felt through these psychological implications showed that it led to negative stereotypes and also a lot of misidentification. The people of the Sikh faith have nothing to do with Islam. They are a whole different identity, but yet people still think of them as the terrorists from 9/11, even though they are not. And they wear turbans because of the 5Ks, and it's really important to them. And they've had distress that ranged from microaggressions to hate crimes to institutional racism, and they've had acts such as, like, when they go through airports, they're the ones that are usually searched, and there's even places where they can't wear turbans, which is really important in their religion. In 2017, the Tennessee State Board of Education put Sikhism in the new social studies standard. Before that, the religion of Sikhism was never put in their social studies book, even though it is the 5th most popular religion, and there are quite a few people who believe in this in the United States. It's pretty unfortunate, but 67% of children who believe in Sikhism have experienced bullying because of their religion in school. Because it's not, and I think part of it has to do because it's not taught to people. People do not know what it is. And I feel like sometimes we are scared of the unknown. I just want to say thank you for watching my lecture, and I hope that you learned a lot about Sikhism.